I had seen testimonials online about the program, and so it always kind of interested me, the idea that I would participate in something like the Level Up program. But a particular tipping thing for me was that I had spent 2 years doing strength training with TBFT, and I had trust in the organisation, or the business, if you like, in being authentic and being ethical. And I felt confident that the program would be genuinely what it said it was going to do. And it had been a terrible year for me. I was already training with TBFT, and I reached out to you, Rob, and I said I'm kind of interested in this, but I don't feel like I'm anywhere near being able to do it. And it was fantastic to kind of have a plan to work towards it, and to have it as something to look forward to in a really difficult year. Yeah. I had retired in July, and so I knew that I was going to have a lot of spare time. And in fact, that was part of my interest in doing the program, was that I was conscious that some people felt very lost when they retired, and I thought, okay, how can I put some structure into my life? And I think I confided in you that I wanted to be the sort of person who exercised every day. I was very conscious that I'd always put work first. I look back now and I think, if I went back, how differently I would approach it. But I had always seen, weirdly in some way, doing something like this and structuring my life in this sort of a way as sort of self-indulgent. It's strange. I don't see it that way anymore. I was most surprised about how ignorant I was about my own body, my stage of life, nutrition. I consider myself to be a well-educated person, but I was stunned at how little I did know. And I was also surprised. So I expected, if I stuck to the rules, that I would lose weight. What I didn't expect was that my skin would improve, that my hair would look better, that I would even seem less grey to my husband, that I would feel more youthful, more like my age, when I was starting to feel like an old woman. So those were the sorts of things, the incidental benefits, that I didn't expect. So I'm thrilled to have made the weight loss that I was aiming for. I'm thrilled that it meets my doctor's expectations. So I had gone to see the GP before I engaged with the program. And I think, for me, the journey isn't over. I know that is not, I'm still away from what I think might be an ideal position for me in weight terms. But the journey's been so good that I really have no worries about continuing it. Jane, pre-Level Up, was stressed, sad, tired, old beyond her years, and starting to stop doing things that once wouldn't have worried her. And stopping doing things because she felt ashamed of how she looked, or she was too tired and sort of too old in a mindset. Jane, after the program, jumps in a kayak and goes out on the ocean, has a community of people, new friends that she loves getting out walking with, and that are, to whom she offers support and gets support from. And whose husband says the change is remarkable in her, that her skin glows, that she's happy. And I think that's absolutely true. I'm uplifted in a way I can't really describe. obviously being accountable to somebody is huge, right? Like, and that helps to set habits. So that's obviously, I mean, that was almost what I was looking for, really. But the community was a surprise and a massive support. And not just the sort of other people in the program, but also Rob and Emily, like yourselves, because there was always somebody to go to when you were getting regular feedback and supportive kind of encouragement in your plans. But as I said, there was a lot I didn't know, so the education was really important. I mean, honestly, the whole thing was really good. You know, it didn't matter whether it was the ideas about what exercise to do and giving, that little push into stuff, the end of the program and coming to Byron and getting to be out in the sunshine, as a really genuine uplifting experience at the end of, what has been a significant 6 weeks for me. So I wouldn't pick anything, right? Like all the little bits work together to bring success. There was no way I was never going to come on the 3 days away. So I'm very fortunate that I can do that. I loved it because I think it was something to work towards. And I think it came at the right time when I was able to actively, it's interesting looking at my reflections, my daily reflections. Every day I'm saying engage actively, and this is a renewed vigour for me. And I found it along the journey of the program, but the 3 days in Byron at the end of the program really gave me the opportunity to do that in spades. I went from never walking the dog to walking, 11 Ks is my furthest distance so far, but confident that I can build it from there, So I discovered a whole pleasure in walking and exploring places. I think the food was a win. Like I expected, nutrition or some sort of diet is about deprivation. There's nothing there's no depriving in this way of eating, which means that it is a lifetime sustainable approach to be able to take. I think the friends that I've made have been really, really significant as well. So I think that's enough, right? There's more probably, but yeah. I feel quietly happy, but not done. I feel that my life has changed. I've never felt that before. It's interesting, right? So you have a 6-week program and then you have a sort of culmination in a retreat and a final weigh-in, and you think, oh, well, that's like ding, and it's over. That's not how I feel about it at all. I feel like I'm having a great experience and I want it to continue. I would tell them you will regret nothing. Grab it with both hands. You will feel younger than your years. You will discover new friendships. You will find interests you didn't know you had. You'll get a lot of pleasure out of it. At the very least, you'll want to jump in the surf again. Yeah.